got one question for you. Are you ready?
What is going on? We are so excited to have Dahniel Knight. What an amazing! I just can't even wait to talk to you about your career. So I'm just too excited. But we're gonna talk. How are you doing though? Real quick, how intro wise? How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, good, man. I was just learning your theme song just now.
It is the yeah. You know what? That's so cool, man. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
It's gonna be weird.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. So James, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. Doing good, really good.
Yeah, how's the cleanup? How's your cleanup efforts, my friend?
Oh, cleanup's done. Yeah, I finished that up yesterday. I'm in Florida, so I had a bunch of hurricane cleanup. So finished all that up yesterday. Mowed the lawn, and looks like nothing happened. So all good.
That's good news. That is really good news. And as always, here in Phoenix, I had a birthday, so I am still on this side of the 40s, everybody. Still on this side of the 40s. Yeah. So Friday, and we got to, I have to hand it to my wife for finding like crazy places. She literally found a cottage on a pond for my birthday, and I got to go hang out at a lake all weekend long. Nice. It was only my family, and we shared it with some people we don't even know. We never saw them. So we pretty much had the lake to ourselves. We had a little paddle boat that me and the kids went on. We brought my grandson and my son, Caden, and we just had a great time. Christy caught her first catfish, or fish period. So that was fun. And I didn't do too bad either. So, but we had really good food. We'll talk about a little bit of it in a bit. But yeah, I'm very excited. So good. And still doing, and if everybody follows my Facebook and Instagram, I am still on the Help Prevent Suicide for Soldiers challenge. Still doing 70 push-ups a day. I have 2,000 to do in a month. So still going strong. I did miss yesterday just for a travel day. So I just have to make up some push-ups, but I've been doing 70 a day, so I'll be caught up with no problem.
Right on.
So
I can a year.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's been really good. And actually, you know what's so funny is that I was like, I wonder if this is going to really help me in my gym, because I've been working on, just upping my pounds on when I'm doing chest press. And I was like, yeah, it's actually helping me out a little bit. So I was happy to hear that. I went up like 5-10 pounds this last today. So nice. Doing awesome. Still pushing it a little bit. So, but you know what time it is? It's time for dessert time, my friends. It is time for that dessert. So, our friend Dahniel has brought a dessert, and I would love to hear about it. Let's see what you brought, my friend.
All right. So I am not much of anything else as far as sweets goes. Gummy bears and these things, the drumsticks, the ice cream cones.
There you go.
Yeah. Can you see it? There you go. These guys, I only bust this bad boy open.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Those are.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to eat these as a kid, and my dad gave me money to go to the corner store and get some, right? And I got mugged.
Oh my goodness.
But I didn't get mugged outside of the store. I got mugged in the checkout lane. And the guy took my money that my dad gave me for these ice creams, and then he took the ice creams too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is a crime. That is a crime right there for sure. Not only mugged, but criminally, your ice cream was stolen. Yeah, that's worse.
Now, who steals ice cream from a kid?
I was just thinking that. What kind of person do you have to be to steal ice cream from a kid?
What?
Right.
Yeah,
It's a criminal right there.
that's a total criminal. I think that's the kind of lockup that you get for like that. Get extra years for that kind of thing,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a little bit of a time where Andy was taking all of his kids' candy, but never ice cream. Never took his ice cream.
You know what? That is correct. I did not take the ice cream. We
Never-
brought and it was Andy's frozen yogurt. I never took it. I knew not to mess with ice cream, taking ice cream from kids. Candy from a kid, candy from a baby, yes.
That's fun.
But
No, just
but yeah, so that is man, I have so many good memories about gummy bears. Are actually so gummy bears, I lived in England and they're kind of like a German thing. And so it was a big thing in the 80s over there because of gummy bears. And then that show came out. And I remember just my sisters, they were young enough to start getting into that gummy bear show. We watched that thing way too often. And but I still chomped on those gummy bears while watching it. So,
Oh yeah.
and
I
ice
ate a
cream,
lot of
what? Oh yeah, especially the golden bears. I love those for some reason. Those are the first ones I ever had. But now I'm kind of I can eat those or I can eat the regular just multicolored ones. So good stuff.
I'm an equal opportunity gummy bear guy.
Yeah. Any color will do. Yeah, I get you.
Any color will do.
Diversity. Yep.
Now, if you're a gummy bears fan, Trader Joe's has the Halloween gummy bears right now.
Oh yeah.
They're the best ones I've had so far.
I'm gonna have to go check that out because I am a gummy bear fan, and I have one of my grandsons is like that's what that's his jam really is gummy bears. Like he would prefer that over any other candy that we buy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can't go wrong with that, and especially with when you have that one kid that just loves them, you're like, yeah, that's why you buying these. I got a grandkid that wants them.
Right?
Even though I am gonna say that since the diet has started, I have not had any gummy bears. I did eat a lot of trail mix this weekend. I don't know what the deal is. Like my wife bought trail mix and those red licorice. The red vines, the ones that come in the huge Costco variety thing that's like this big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are like that's the travel. So that's a tradition in our family. We buy those every trip and then we eat like half of them while we're traveling there. So whether it's to San Diego or this time it was to like Lakeside, Arizona, it was like, yeah, this is the travel thing. We have to, it's a tradition. Everything goes right if we just have those, at least those. So what did I bring? What did I bring today? And I'm going to bring, I actually am going to just bring him out since I know that this man's a Kansas City. He's from the Kansas City area, or at least lived there for a while, right? So he's from Chicago, but he did do some time in the KC area. I'm bringing out the Mahomes crunch. As well, the Raiders have felt that crunch last night, losing by a point to my beloved KC Chiefs. So they felt the crunch last night. So otherwise, I'm really boring. Actually, I just have another nutrition drink that I got because I just did a workout, and I'm feeling good. But I'll tell you, they make good sports drinks now. That's all I'm going to say. They have upped their game on sports drinks, and I'm still like a strawberry kiwi, strawberry banana kind of post-workout shake kid. But they have like peanut butter crunch. They have like every cereal brand you've ever heard of that you can go get at a one-stop nutrition. They have a flavor for everything. It's not just like chocolate, really disgusting vanilla, and strawberry. That was used to be the options for after workout. Now they have like the sun. It's everywhere. It's cool.
Well,
so yeah, it's been a good experience, and at least everything tastes good. So my suggestion: go to the gym, get some good workout in, and then get some post-workout tasty nutrition afterwards. So now I bow down. We know that this is the time that we bow down to the chef. He is known as the metal chef. And what did you bring today, James?
So I went with another pie. So,
Oh yes.
yeah.
So this is pie number 2. What it was?
Yep.
Pie number 1 was what? What was pie number 1? Yes.
That was the. Sorry, I'm kind of blurry. Maple cream pie. That was the last one.
Yes. It just
So
sounded amazing. What is this one?
Yes. This one is a chocolate cream pie. So that's
Oh.
yeah, kind of blurry.
Okay, my friend. What do we got in this one? What was the ingredients on this one, my friend?
So I actually had some leftover cookies. I don't know why I'm kind of blurry. Like spot it out. I don't know. So we had some leftover chocolate chip cookies that I made. So I ground those up. About 1.5 cups per like 5 tablespoons of butter to make like your crust. You can just use like a basic like pie crust if you wanted to use like a whatever. But I recommend cookies. Go cookies because it's always better for a cookie crust. Pudding wise, 1/3 cup of sugar, 2.5 cups of milk, 6 large egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 6 tablespoons of butter, 8 ounces of chocolate, whatever you want to use, chopped chocolate, whatever you want to use, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So you're kind of mixing the sugar and the milk together, but let it kind of steep a little bit, let it not boil, but like let it kind of warm up, and then you're kind of mixing the eggs and the cornstarch together. You're kind of tempering the eggs. Tempering is kind of just you're adding a little bit of hot cream to the egg yolks, so they don't cook. And then once you have a little bit in there, you can kind of pour the rest in there and let it mix it up. And wait till that thickens. Add the rest of your ingredients, and that's pretty much your filling. Kind of add that to the cooled crust, and then make a whipped topping. 1 cup heavy whipping cream and 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar or granulated sugar. I prefer powdered sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Whip that up, and then however you want to do it, and then crush whatever you want on top of it, chocolate or cookies, whatever. So you just crush up cookies.
So for those who did not, so rewind and listen to this again, write it down,
Yeah.
or hit up the chef for this recipe and others and the last week's pie and whatever else you've seen in the past. Hit up the chef.
So when you make the crust, 350, 10 to 12 minutes. Let it cool, and then you're pretty much everything is just a no bake. You're pretty much kind of cooking on the stove, and then you're adding it to the cool crust.
Yep, we had to finish it up. Sorry there, James. Yep. I was like thinking you were done, and I'm like,
nope,
is that it? No, you have to cook it. But again, ingredients, go hit up the man for the ingredients. Now you also have instructions. Go. This is such good stuff. This is such good stuff. And you know what? It is coming into that season, my friends. What is your go-to like holiday, Daniel? What is your go-to holiday dessert?
If I had to make a dessert, it would be pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, yes.
I make the best pineapple upside down cake in the world.
I think that everybody's mom and family says that they make that, and I agree with you because it's almost the same recipe. And if you grew up with that particular recipe, it's the best because they're not differing too much. But if your mom made it and showed you how to make it, or grandma made it and showed you how to make it, it's the best ever. And I think that it comes with those memories that come with pineapple upside down cake. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my jam.
I get you. I get you on that one. I grew up on that stuff. That and what is the stuff with coconuts? It's like a coconut. My dad used to make it. It was a cake with like coconut, sprinkled coconuts and German chocolate.
Yeah, that's my dad's.
That was my dad's. It was like, hey, what my dad made fudge in that, and then my mom made the pineapple upside down cake, and then Christmas cookies and cookies, right? So yeah, we had our sweets all different people we knew who to go to for the good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then you know what's so funny is you always have that family recipe they won't tell other people. Like your pineapple, your grandma's upside down pineapple upside. There's like an ingredient that they will not tell anybody else but you, and then now you know how to make it, but you're not going to tell anybody else because if they knew it, then they're going to be like,
"Well,
they'll know."
Well, to be honest with you, my mom used to make it all the time, and then I took her recipe and completely changed it.
Oh, did you?
So now it's
nice.
It's my thing now.
Now you own it. You're like, hey, I always wanted it with this little thing. I get you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what it
That's
is. I
awesome.
use ginger ale in the mix and lemon.
Oh,
And then a little
yes.
bit of orange juice. Yeah. So it just
There you
changes
go.
it a little bit.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. I like that. That's a really good. And man, I love desserts. It's so good.
Yeah.
Especially pineapple. That kind of stuff just has so many good memories too. When you think about childhood, it's just such a good. I think when I think desserts, I think that's what I love most about them is the fact that I just had a really solid memory of good eating desserts with my family and or going a place and going to a place. And currently, that's what we do. We went to this little restaurant called Darby's in Lakeside, Arizona, and they had French toast, and it was like homemade toast, but it was like they flavored the French toast to like 4 different flavors, and it was like crazy. Like one of them was like it was like almost like eating a coffee cake, and then they made their own syrup and stuff.
Wow.
And I don't know. I've never had it. Those were so good that you're just like, me and my wife are just looking at each other and going, like, how did we land into this? We just like lucked out and went to this place. We were just like, hey, that's just around the corner. And every single restaurant I've ever usually been to, other than like a Denny's, these mom and pops, they always have like one thing that is like the most amazing thing. You're just like, yeah, I came here for that. That was the best thing we've ever eaten. For them, that was that French toast, and they had really good peanut butter chocolate brownie thing that we bought on the way out of town. So it was really good. But I digress. So when you're going out, and I know you actually have played gigs, a lot of gigs in time. I've seen your list of folks that you've been jamming with and playing with. What is your go-to food for? I won't even say I've asked this question a million times, and most people say, yeah, I don't eat before a gig. So, but what is your favorite? If you were out on a gig, what is your go-to place that you have to go eat? Like, is there a customary place or a traditional place that you go to, or are you just one of those people, whatever is available?
It's I like you said, I don't eat before I play. Genuinely, if I do, I am superstitious, so I don't eat chicken or pizza before I do a gig. I don't know why it is, and I tried to break that superstition one, and I ordered a chicken and pizza, and I played literally the worst gig I ever played in my life. It was awful.
It sustained it. It was like, yes, this is why you don't eat pizza before it, right? Yeah.
And it's all because of an old buddy of mine I used to play with. He's like, this guy Roland, he's a keyboard player. And he's like, hey, man, you can't eat chicken or pizza before a gig. It'll mess you up. I'm like, what? And that was 20 years ago, and I've been doing the same thing ever since. So, but as far as like day of gigs, I mean, I'll eat breakfast and lunch, but I'm usually pretty hungry by the time it's time to play. And then I'll eat afterwards. So.
What are you eating afterwards? Are you eating like just whatever's they have on tour?
Anything
like
that's around.
Food? Yeah.
Anything. Pocket lint, kids, I don't care. I'll be starving.
What's the best venue you've ever had? What's the best food you've ever had at a venue?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, let me think about that one for a minute.
Yeah, So just to let everybody know, this if you go look in our description, he's played with some people. I'm just going to say it that way. He's played with some people, and you will know right away that he's played with a diverse amount of amazing bands. And I was like, I told my sister, I'm not worthy to be able to talk to this man tonight. I was like,
when I saw the website, I was like, oh my God. I was overwhelmed.
I think it's so, and I was like, Nicole, how do you know this guy? And it's just like, it's LA, right? It's LA.
Yeah.
And he goes the same watering hole.
Yeah. That's
actually
actually true. Yeah, we used to hang out at this bar called the Fox. Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, I met him he was at the same watering hole, and he knows Dennis from Bat Farm, which I wear that t-shirt all the time still. I love Bat Farm.
Well, yeah, I just hung out with him not too long ago.
Yeah, I love Dennis. Dennis is a good
Yeah.
dude. He's
Yes.
from Arizona too. So I think they had like like Nicole there for a while had a friend group of all Arizonans that lived in LA. Quite a few of them, or at least quite a few of them. I mean, she still definitely had other friends, but
Right.
yeah, that's so cool. But when I look at your list, I mean, I'm sitting there. I'm a guitarist, and you're like the epitome of what I wanted to do growing up. And I'm like, now I get to interview that guy who did do the guitar thing, played with some Oasis. I mean, you have a list that I mean, it's just deep. And now you're actually doing more than that, and I want to hear more about that in a few minutes. You're but you're but what got you into this? That's my question. You played with amazing bands, but what got you into being a musician and especially playing my favorite thing, a guitar?
Like
Um,
how old? Because you were like from what on your website it says, like a child prodigy. So you must have learned this when you were really young.
First, I didn't write that bio, so
I was
I
like,
don't sound like an arrogant ass or
wow, he
anything.
must have been like playing forever. Like,
Yeah. I come from a musical family. My mother was a nightclub singer back in the 50s and 60s. And then my mother and my father had a nightclub in Chicago called the East, and it was like the hub for traveling R&B bands. So like, Kool and the Gang, like way before, Celebration, back when they were like doing Jungle Book, like prior to that stuff. And then Earth, Wind and Fire used to play there once a month, and they would rehearse there. And so I was around music all the time. And my parents would make us open up for Earth, Wind and Fire, playing bongos and stuff. Um, so Freddie Fender, who else? The Barcades. I mean, you name it. All the R&B bands that came through Chicago, Shaka Khan. All these people would hang out at my parents' nightclub, and so we're just always around it. And then my uncles are musicians. My uncle Michael's a producer. My uncle Donald was a guitar player. So it's in the family. My little brother plays drums. My sister sings. My younger brother's a rapper. My other brother's a producer. So it's in the family, I guess.
It's in the DNA. That sounds like it's in the DNA. Yeah. That's odd. Now, do you have brothers and sisters that are not doing that? They're like, and we have this other brother who's like an IT engineer.
No, they actually have real jobs,
Oh, okay.
but they're still musicians though.
There you go. There you
So
go.
like my brother Dave, he's in pharmaceutical sales, but he's one of the dopest R&B drummers in the country. And so he plays for fun whenever he wants, So
nice.
That's cool. That's cool. And you know what? And then he figured out what most of us do, and it's like, yeah, you can be a musician, but it's a hard life to get that good and to be able to play with bands like you have. And that means that, and this is humbly, I know you're being humble, but I heard just the music that I have on Spotify, the 2 songs that you have on Spotify for just your stuff. And I'm like, holy moly.
What songs are? I don't even know what's on there.
The Devil's Daughter.
Oh, Devil's
right?
Daughter, yeah. I've recorded that too many times. I can't get it right. It's almost there. It's almost close.
Devil's Daughter, and then the other one was Honesty.
Oh yeah, that's a weird song. I wrote that.
But go ahead.
On a child guitar. And then I just ended up recording it, and then what's his name? It was actually Prince's engineer ended up mixing it for me. Him and this guy named Owen Sartori. They're like, "Oh, this is a panty dropper." I'm like, "Whatever, it's just a rough." And they mixed it, and I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll use it, do whatever." So, yeah, maybe I'll bring that song back. I don't know.
You should. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Devil's Daughter. Which one did I like more? Probably Devil's Daughter had more of the electric guitar, more of Living Color vibe going for it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
What I got from it was like I enjoyed listening to it, period. But I got like I'm not sure if you did too, but like I got like a Lenny Kravitz sound.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it literally sounded like I was like, man, this is like Kravitz right here. It's really good.
I'll take it. Thank you.
I had to look at it again because it was like between 2 of my favorite bands. I was like, is this guy the guy behind? Is he the guitarist behind these guys? And I just didn't realize it. And then I was like, oh, I don't see Lenny Kravitz listed on there. And I know Lenny Kravitz played his own guitar, so but this sounds a lot like Lenny Kravitz's song, or Living Color, which is the other song, other like rock metal. Yeah, totally great. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen them lately.
No.
I have listened to one of their newer tracks. Yeah, I have, because I'm still into that 80s stuff. Yeah.
Dude, I saw them on the Steel Wheels tour with Rolling Stones when they first came out, and they were great.
Wow.
I saw them about 3 or 4 years ago, and they're like 1,000 times better.
No way.
Yeah, dude, they're so good live now. It's almost it should be illegal actually how good they are now. Insanity.
Well, this is the thing that they knew, and this is they had musical skills, and they weren't one-hit wonders, and I could tell that that's the reason why you listen to. They're not like in 80s, 90s band where you're like, I won't listen to another album because they haven't produced anything. They're still producing stuff, and they're still playing. I'm glad to hear that, because that some bands they mature over time, and their style just becomes better. Musically, they become better. I'll have to go check them out some more, because I did hear one of their albums, and I was like, this is better than what they played in the, I'm still partial to the first few songs that they came out with, because those were like just you're going, what, who is this? Amazing. And I like the fact that they mix some of that background track stuff in there too, which I really
the samples
enjoy.
And stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Right. The sampling, right. That was always
Did
good.
you know they just played Rock in Rio? Is it Rock in Rio? And they had Steve Vai as the second guitar player.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was wrong, dude. So wrong.
That's like the best of the best. And I would say that did you play guitar on those tracks that were on that?
Yeah,
on those
on my stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play actually everything that I record for myself. I play everything.
Oh, that's cool. That's even cooler. Yeah. I'm a guitarist. I know that right now he said I can't not have a guitar in hand. What do you have guitar in hand? What are you playing right now? There you go. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful guitar.
So that's a sitar guitar.
Oh, I love them. Yeah, I've actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that is so cool.
I love the sound of sitars.
Yeah.
It's kind of my writing thing, just because it sounds weird, And it was closest by, so I mean, I got guitars all over. As you can tell, I'm in my dining room actually. And there's guitars on the wall.
Guitarist. That's. How long have you been playing?
Guitar?
Yeah.
I started late, man. I started on drums, actually. I'm a drummer.
There you go.
And I didn't start playing guitar until like my 3rd year in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, he called and he's like, hey, man, I'm putting together a road band. You play guitar, right? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't. And I had a broken hand because I was playing college football at the time. And I had like 6 months to heal and buy a guitar and teach myself how to play guitar. So that's when I started. So.
And he plays the way he does. This is how you know that you have music in your DNA, is that you can pick up guitar 6 months after breaking a hand in college football. What college did you go to, by the way?
Mankato State, Minnesota State.
Minnesota State.
Yeah.
Minnesota. That's awesome.
It used to be called Mankato State, but now it's Minnesota State.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy cool. What is it? What is Minnesota State? Because Minnesota is with the Gophers, and Minnesota State is what? What's the mascot?
The Mavericks.
Okay.
It's like a purple bull.
Yeah. What position did you play in football?
I was tight end my first year and defensive end and outside linebacker second year.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then that's cool, man. That's cool. I enjoy football, as you could tell. I'm a big NFL fan, but I'm also a big Irish fan. So
okay.
Yeah. Go Irish. Yep, beating BYU this weekend. So yay.
Nice.
So anyway, yeah, man, that's a cool guitar. I get down. I've seen those sitar guitars coming out, and I actually saw. I'm always on Instagram, and I'm subscribed to like every music guitarist out. Every guitarist that I can find. If you're playing guitar on Instagram and you go across my page, I'm following you. And I've seen a lot of those sitar. Yeah, I just support guitarists. That's what you do, right? But the sitar guitar has been one of the newest things that came out where a lot of people are starting to play it because of the unique kind of Mid-Eastern, that sound that comes from it. Like it's that Eastern, like Indian vibe. I enjoy it.
I dig it. And then it's got those weird drone things. I don't know what that's for. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's for. It's creepy. I don't use that. But I'm sure it's for something. I don't know.
You'll find out. See, that's the whole thing about finding a guitar like that is that you get to go find new things that they made, and then you'll find out, they really don't use that. And
That's
you're like,
well,
why did they build it? But why did they build it? Then I'm going to use it for something.
You never know. Like sometimes you're like, I can use this.
Yeah, this thing is super cool.
It is. It's really cool. Now, who makes that one?
Oh, we froze up. What was that now?
Who makes that one?
I think it's who makes this. It just says sitar. I actually don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's
not anymore.
It's pretty awesome.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry
Jones guitars.
Interesting. Never actually heard of Jerry Jones guitars, but that's cool though.
He makes a fine guitar. That Jerry guy.
It is. Do you know what's really interesting is that, and this is just guitar talk for a second, how many manufacturers, and we've met a couple that do their own guitars and they sell very limited, but they're really good quality. They're not like, because we're used to I'm used to the mainframe Fender, Gibson, Ibanez, but there is a whole plethora of guitars out there that are made individualistic, like buying a Fender custom shop from different people like that you've never heard of the guitar company, but they're making these amazing guitars. Chaos Guitar is our guy who he makes his own brand. He's now not doing as many of them, but they're still like, wow, but they blaze. They're like fire. They're totally great guitars and nobody's ever heard of them.
Yeah. I don't play a lot of name. Actually, most of my stuff is like custom builder guys. There's a guy in Texas. There's actually both the guys that build my stuff. There's Crown Guitars. This guy is making. I mean, he custom builds cars. So he takes that mentality to making guitars. He actually made a telly body for our telly guitar for me, and I'm 6'5", so he made it an inch around bigger. The body's an inch around bigger. The top is carved like a PRS. It has like a Ibanez Jim neck on it, right? But it sounds like a Les Paul, and it's amazing, dude. It's a sick guitar. I love that thing. And then there's another guy, Tony, from Killer Bees Guitars. That dude is making some amazing shit. I think it's in the case somewhere. Yeah, but Tony's making some amazing stuff too. So shout out to Tony and Crown Guitars and Killer Bees Guitars.
Shout out.
So now I'm gonna have to go check them out because that means because this is what do I do with my extra money in life? I go buy guitars. So just to be able to say that I have another one and then explain. So somehow you have to explain how you got this. So you have to kind of like walk it in the door like sneakily,
right?
And then hope that she never notices. Like like a $2,000 SG that just shows up into the house, and they're like, "Did you ever? I have so many guitars now. You don't know that I got a new guitar."
That's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say like, I already have this.
The things that we tell our spouses. I had this already. You don't even know. I've had this for like a year. And there is times where I've had it for a year, and then she'll be like, "Where did you get that thing from?" I've had it for a year. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You know, apparently it just
You
walked
just have
in
to
one
order
day.
button from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you just
say I
got to tell
have,
you borrowing it from food.
yeah. It's you know, it's I got it from the pawn shop, really. That's what happened. It came from a pawn shop. It was $200. It was $200.
There you go.
Sure.
I love that stuff, man. That's the cool thing about getting into guitars is that once you start really playing, you start identifying what really sounds great for you.
Mhm.
And then you want to find, but then what I like about what you're talking about is finding variations of what something that you like, maybe a tone you like with a guitar,
Right.
but finding a new guitar that's a little bit different, but it's still your thing. It's still, this is
Mhm.
me, you know, with a different
Yeah.
sound. Yeah, I
Right.
love
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool that
Well,
guy was able to. Now, are you a big Les Paul fan? Is that kind of your,
No,
like, is that?
I was not. I liked the way Les Paul sounded. I
Yes.
didn't like the way they felt until 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went down to the Gibson showroom. A friend of mine works down there, and she's like, I'm just like, I just never been into Gibsons. And so she's like, "Oh, just come down, check out some guitar." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I went down, and I think I played everything in the showroom. And then the last guitar I played with a gold top of P90s. And as soon as I strummed it, I'm like, "Whoa!" I mean, it weighs as much as a car bumper. I like heavy guitars,
Right.
and it's been my jam for 2 years now. Yeah. So
Nice.
I'm
With
I'm all team
P90s.
Gibson now. So,
There you go. I have a couple Gibsons.
yeah.
I got the SG. I have I got the Reverb 1961 Vivola, and it has that like fan
Okay.
thing on the back. Yeah, I absolutely love that guitar. And then I have a Les Paul. I just got a studio. Yeah, it's
Okay.
light.
Yeah.
It's not the traditional like standard, but I got the studio because it is a lot lighter. I don't feel like I'm carrying a huge bumper on my.
Well, you're a big guy, so I mean, you gotta have like something big and like
Yeah.
6'5",
Yeah,
6'5", played
yeah,
tight
yeah.
end. Yeah, 6'5", played
Yeah.
tight end in college. Probably can handle a heavier guitar.
Yeah.
I'm getting old though, man. I'm getting old, so that stuff hurts.
I feel you. I feel you there.
Yeah.
I feel you there.
Pretty much all my stuff is heavy, actually.
I had this.
Except for
I
that
thought
acoustic.
that the SG I have, but you know what my heaviest guitar is? I have a Fender Telecaster, and it is my heaviest guitar. It's one of these like it's a Fender Player Series, and it's
Mhm.
like it was made from a Chinese company. So everybody, Fender used to, it still does this. They offshore a lot of their guitars, and the Player Series specifically has a lot of these. And this one was one of those weird ones that came out of like a company called AXL out of China.
Yes, I
And
know that company.
this, yeah. So this thing has a Strat pickup in the middle, a Fender or a Tele pickup at the top, and then a double humbucker at the bottom at the bridge. So the neck is the regular Tele, and then they have that Strat in the middle, and it has like a 5-way and a thing that actually turns the humbucker from into a P90 basically, or front goes to a
Okay.
single. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Something like that, right?
Exactly like that. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep.
This is a very weird guitar because this is Mark Knopfler's prototype.
No, that's crazy.
Wow.
He didn't like the color. I bought it for $350, dude.
And it plays really well, I'm sure. It's fun.
It does. I don't use it. I haven't really played it out anywhere, but it's like kind of like Mary Kay Whitish kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
And this is when
I had
this prototype.
That's cool. And you know what I like? I call it like a Franken Telecaster because it has all these features on it. You're like, this is like the weird. It's made by Fender. This one's made by Fender, but it doesn't like it's parts.
Yeah.
There's things on it that they don't ever put on Tellies.
Right. Well, this is actually a Schecter.
Oh, a Schecter even. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they have these things called I want to say like back or garage sale where they unload a lot of their inventory. And I went and there was boxes and boxes, and I'm that guy that will dig through stuff. And this was at the bottom. Everybody was hiding it because they're like, we have to make, people that come here to buy stuff get first pick, and then the employees get to buy whatever's left. And so they were hiding this one because everybody that worked there wanted it.
They all knew. They all knew. Yeah.
Yeah,
those are such cool guitars, and that's the fun thing is I don't definitely gig. My music stays in my closet or in my house, right? But
Right.
I enjoy getting different tones, and the fact that had a lot of things built in already with the telly feel to it.
Right.
So I enjoyed that quite a bit. So that was fun. Yeah, those are how fun. So let's get to your career for a second. Your list up is like amazing. Who out of your lineup, and I know this is going to be a hard question, and maybe you have multiple for different reasons, but who is some of your favorite people to be playing with?
Oh, wow. That I played with or that I'm working with now?
Okay, we'll go played with, and then we'll go working with now.
Okay. I would have to say there's a few, but Doug Pinnick from King's X. Just because when I was growing up, because like I said, I started on drums, then bass, and then guitar. But when I stumbled across King's X, I was like, oh, he can do that. I mean, he black guy playing rock. He had a mohawk, playing his 12-string bass, and I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I actually started singing and playing bass because of him.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
I got to play with him a couple years ago, which was great. And now we're friends. And Dougie, he's awesome. So he's one. Billy Ray Cyrus is one of the funnest dudes to make music with.
I was gonna ask how it was working with him. That's awesome. I saw that was with one of your guys.
Yeah, Billy is very underrated, actually.
Yeah.
He's probably the hardest working man in show business. I'll give him that. He works around the clock nonstop, and he'll try anything, which is something that I love. And basically, I got the gig with him. I met him in a parking lot. I was drinking a beer, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey," he goes, "My name's Billy. You play guitar?" I'm like, "I do." He goes, "I'm looking for a guitar player for my band." I'm like, "Okay." So, and he's the real deal. He's a cool cat, and he loves to rock out. He doesn't always do country. He lived in LA and wanted to be in, back in the hair metal days, but he still had that Southern drawl. So he ended up going back home and ended up doing country. But we had a rock band together called Brother Clyde, drop D stuff. We'd go get it. Yeah. And he was like a big, he's one of those guys that pushed me like, Danny, take your helmet off. Like, what are you turn the amp off or turn the amp up, take your helmet off and get it. I'm like, all right. So he's one of those kind of guys, It's not about him, it's about making everybody in the band great,
That's awesome.
And then currently I'm playing with a singer named Pearl. Her name is Pearl Ade. She's fantastic, man. She's Meatloaf's daughter.
Yeah, I was gonna. She actually replied to my Instagram story. I didn't even know who she was at first until I started looking up, and I go, "Wait a minute, are you Meatloaf's daughter? Like, really?
Yeah.
Wow."
And so I've been playing bass for like 4 or 5 years now. And she is. Sometimes it's hard to be on stage with her because you just kind of want to watch her. Because she has everything. She's like, she can sing her ass off. She looks great. She's got stage. I mean, she's the epitome of what a rock star is supposed to be. And on top of that, she's one of the sweetest people in the world. So, I hope that answered your question.
That answers my question in faces. That's amazing. And you know what? So this is my sister Nicole, as you well know. She knows you, of course, and your friends. But in LA, everybody who is in the scene is somewhat in the scene. knows people, and it's not. It's like these are people you hang out with. They're A-listers. And my sister says, "Oh, I've had," she names people, and I'm just like, my jaw drops because we don't have access to those people. We've never met those people. We see them on TV, we hear them in radio, we hear them on Apple Music, or Spotify. Spotify pays people a little bit,
Right.
but to us it's just like, whoa, like, but to you it's like, yeah, these are great musicians, I play with them, I'm a great musician, and they're all and I think that you gravitate in your career, from what my sister said, to the better musicians that are humble, that are in there working hard, and are not all about the hype and the other stuff, because all of that stuff dies in the end, and what you're left with is your music and how well you perform it and who you're playing with to make that happen. And we've had several musicians that have, at the end of their, at the end days of, them still touring, still having fun, but they would rather, the fame has gotten old. Now it's about playing with better musicians that help inspire you. And I think is that what you would say, that's kind of where you're at in life?
Yeah, for sure. Like the bar that I met Nicole at, the dive bar down the street, it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's musician heaven. And we don't talk music, we just go down where we have a couple cocktails, we play some darts, we make fun of each other, and then they go off and go around the world touring and stuff. And that's kind of, like you said, I mean, LA's like that because everybody does know somebody, and they're just regular people, that make noise for a living. So, yeah.
I love it though.
Well, come on out, I'll take you to the Fox. It's pretty cool.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And I hear that, my sister goes, she was out there, oh man, I can't remember how many years now, maybe 10, 15 years. And I didn't go out very often. I mean, I hung out with her like literally in her area maybe 3 or 4 times.
Gotcha.
It's just, our Phoenix folks go to San Diego to go on holiday or vacation. And then, LA is always that congested place that, my sister lives at. And it takes like 30 minutes to go a mile.
Right.
So, and the only thing that I always I bring up, we go to La Brea Tar Pits. That's our thing in the Natural History Museum. But now it's like, my sister lived in North Hollywood and met all of these amazing folks. And when she tells me stories, I'm just like, that is so cool. Because for us, this is like, that's what that for me, that as a musician, I grew up, I didn't go that route, but I still dreamed of playing in those big venues. And you guys are doing that. What is it like to be in front of 10,000 people and playing, your heart out? What does that feel like for you?
It's relaxing. I don't know what it is. I can't play in front of like 5 people. It freaks me out. But if it's a huge crowd, that's when I feel the most relaxed playing. And I don't know why that is.
Maybe it's like all there for you. You know what I'm saying? Just to have that big old crowd, like that's just has an amazing feel. I can totally see like where like just if it was 5 people, because like you're just all looking at you, like just. But if you have like a lot, like it's just that overwhelming, just that nice feel. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I think I don't focus on one face. If there's 5 people, like, but playing in front of big crowds, that's, dude, there's nothing like it. I mean, I remember the first big giant crowd I ever played in front of, and the stage was literally shaking from the crowd noise.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, wow, do I want this? Because it's crazy. But as soon as we hit the first time, I'm like,
Who were you playing with at that time?
I was actually with Oasis.
Oasis.
Nice. So I did one night and kind of part of a second night. Their guitar player, what was his name? He had a weird nickname, but he was sick. And my friend Sally grew up with those guys, and she was friends with them. And she took me to the gig, and we went backstage. And they're like, "Is this the guy?" And I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they hand me a guitar. I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "He's sick." here's some songs to learn. So I'm like, okay.
It sounds like you were just like not doing anything at any time, and people were just like you meant Billy Ray, just like sit there. Hey, you play guitar? Yeah. Well, here's a guitar. Like
Here's a guitar. Yeah.
my
My life is kind of like a cartoon. Though. It's like that. It's weird. My life has been very bizarre and weird. It's been pretty weird, funny but weird.
So, what is one of the strangest things that you've ever seen while gigging or on tour? That you can talk about. That you can talk about on a YouTube channel.
That's a good laugh right there. That's a good one.
Well, okay. I saw a lady. Where were we playing at? Was it Kansas City? No, it wasn't Kansas City. Maybe it was Kansas City. She was in one of those hover around things.
No.
Right, and she was off to the side, like, I could see her, and she's rocking out. And so I point to her, and then I go back to playing whatever, and I look back out. They got the entire hover round up in the air. They're crowd surfing her, and she's still sitting in the thing, right? And I was worried they were going to drop her. So I'm like, so they actually crowd surfed her all the way to the stage and put her on the stage. And that's why she hung out the entire show.
That's like the most epic thing ever. That's like
I'll send you guys a picture. I got a picture of her in the air. It's crazy.
Amazing.
That's epic. That's epic.
Yeah.
I don't know if any that's
what's that?
That's cool. So I don't know if anything else can anything else beat that? That's like that right there is like a lifetime moment right there that somebody could go through. I can see like crowd surfing. I've never been crowd surfing, but like that just and you're on your upper right. You know what I'm saying? That's like even better.
I know. I made it to the front. Well, I've done stupid stuff on stage. I did a gig completely butt naked once, which was probably a mistake.
Not the only one, but I mean, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
I was, you know what? So I'm gonna tell you this. So my wife did not believe that people did that. She's like, "There's no way." And then so I was like, "Yes, that's what happens. It happens." And so then we were watching that. What is it? The Lollapalooza? Not the Lollapalooza. It was Woodstock 2. The one that happened. Yeah, with Flea. Yeah. So there's a Netflix thing about, and my wife goes, "That's Flea," and I go, "Yeah, he's naked." I go, musicians get on there. That's like not untypical that they're playing naked, like the bass is covering most of their parts, and she's like, how do they get away with that? I was like, they're musicians. That's what happens.
I didn't. I got a ticket. So
you got a ticket. Where was this ticket at? Where was this at?
This was in LA, like in the 90s. You remember a band called Moxie?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes,
One
I
of
do.
the first earlier grunge bands with a female singer.
Yeah.
So I was playing drums for those guys, and the lead singer, Jen, she's like, I took off my shirt at rehearsal because it was hot. She's like, I'll give you $200 if you play the next gig naked. Like, whatever. The whole band went around chipping in. I'll give you $300. So it got up to like $700.
Oh Lord!
And I'm like, fine. And this was at the Dragonfly a long time ago. And so we're in the green room, and I got my shorts on. I take my shirt off, and I start walking to the stage. And they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go up and play this gig and win my money." They're like, "No, you have to take your clothes off first." So I had to get butt naked, walk through the crowd onto the stage. I don't know if you ever played drums in the nude. It's not fun at all. And so, so I did the whole gig naked, and then I got off stage, had to walk back through the crowd, and then I got $168 in these or whatever public nudity ticket.
At least you had. I mean, at least you saw $700 minus $160.
Right? And I got paid for the gig.
There you go. Look at that. See, look.
He netted $533 plus.
You got money you didn't have. You spent. You got money you didn't have. You spent it on the ticket. and then you got the rest.
every song was played really fast.
Let me out of here. Let me out of here.
Yeah, getting out of here.
Yeah, I'm just glad I wasn't playing like a Vista like kit where you could see through it, you know. Yeah. Yeah, well, I've seen some funny. So there's always something funny going on with somebody doing something silly, and whatever.
Musicians are like that though. That's the funny, but that's like the thing, right? That's like the brotherhood, sisterhood, the family thing, challenging each other to do something funny, to be on stage. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, for the most part, it's like usually when a tour starts out, like the first couple weeks is when everybody's getting crazy and doing stupid shit. By the third week, everybody's like, okay, I need to start eating salads and going to bed and drinking water. So, and every tour is exactly the same, like, oh, we're out on the road, let's drink. And you're like, yeah, can I have a Caesar salad and some mineral water?
I'm dehydrated now.
Yeah, tours aren't wild like they used to be, I don't think, Well, You can't keep that shit up, man.
Well, that's what they say, and I've actually heard that. So I watched some of those documentaries on like Def Leppard, and they said it was crazy. And we had a couple people that we had one of the people that toured with Def Leppard at one point on the show, and he's just like, I can't talk about what happened backstage. It's just not appropriate. Yeah. But it was crazy. But he said now he wants to play with good musicians and hang out and not do, you do that stuff. It's fun in the 20s, maybe early 30s. And then after that, you've been there, done that, right?
Yeah. And, it's funny. Like, I have a lot of, like, most of my friends are musicians. And unfortunately, I've lost a lot of friends because of drugs and shit. I can honestly say that I'm one of the only musicians that I know that's never done any drugs.
Oh, good for you,
man. I've never had any interest in it. And I've seen so many people go because of that shit, and it's crazy. So I was never that partier. I mean, I could drink some whiskey with the best of them, but I was never like, because I didn't even know, like, I remember being on the road and this guy was doing opium. I'm like, that exists still? Wow. I thought that went out with like the Shogun Warriors and shit. Like, wow.
I think you're right. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. Like, wow. Yeah.
Do you have bubonic plague? Yeah, it's not so. But I've seen it all at some point or another. So.
Yeah, but you know what? This is how this is the longevity piece, right? Longevity means that unless you're what's his name, Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones, that he's probably kept alive a little bit longer because of all the drugs in his system. And maybe Ozzy still's going. He's still flying around.
I know there's like a death pool for Keith Richards somewhere. That's like, when is he gonna?
He has because of all the drugs. He's had antifreeze in his system.
He's never gonna die. Ever.
I've heard like years ago, like not even years ago, like 5-6 years ago, like he got hurt like climbing some like palm tree or something. Like, why are you climbing a palm tree? Like broke his arm or something. Like, are you serious? Like, why are you up there? You're like 70-something years old.
Well, what about Mick Jagger got sick and ended up in the hospital because of his heart or whatever? Yeah. Like a couple of years, like 2-3 years ago, the fucking Keith is at home fucking drinking still. Just chilling. Looking like a pirate.
I know. That's exactly what he looks like. And he's now just a pirate. Just lives forever. He might have been a buccaneer.
I'd love to meet that guy. I have some friends that know him.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They said he's awesome. Yeah.
I've actually heard that you can't get away. You have to to be a long existing to have a long list. You have to have a good personality, because people stop wanting to work with you if you don't. That's what I heard. You can only do that you can only have like this vibe for so long.
Was that I lost you a bit?
Oh, sorry. You can only have for a long career. You have to be able to get along with people. You have to be able to work with people, because they'll stop. Yeah, people won't want to work with you anymore, and that's the reason why some of these people's careers died. They're like, no, we don't want to work with that guy. He's a jerk. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, you know what? We are at an hour, and I know that James has a last few couple questions that he's done the research. He's my research guy.
Research guy. No, I mean, I went from like by the website and stuff like that, and I was gonna kind of see like what like, while playing or kind of making when you're making your music, and where do you kind of pull like your influences from? Do you pull like your influences up into the music that you play? Like you kind of when you write your writing style, or like how do you like? Let me reword that. What kind of what influences do you pull from when you make your music?
This is gonna sound really weird. Like when I'm sitting at home, right, and I'll just have a guitar on me or whatever. If I hit a chord, whatever, that will literally cue vocal melodies and lyrics. So I don't really pull influences from anything. It's just depending on how I feel. I mean, I can have heartburn and write like a super heavy song. You know, it just comes out of wherever. I'm kind of old school when it comes to writing songs. I'm really into like the hooks. You know, I'm a huge Beatles fan, Bowie, you know, and then of course Stevie Wonder and Earth, Wind and Fire. So I don't know. It's one of those things. If I hear a chord or the microwave sounds funny, something will gravitate me to it, and I'll just write from whatever that is. So
I can see that.
I never sit down and like, oh, I need to write a song. I don't think I've ever actually told myself, hey, sit down and write a song. I don't think I've ever done that before. It's just whatever happens. So
that's cool. Yeah. Can you hear, like you say, you hear a certain sound that can trigger a whole song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool. That is really cool.
That might mean I'm brain damaged. I don't know.
No.
No. I think it's awesome that you draw inspiration from whatever's around you. That's actually really cool, and that's a good musician, is be able to pull inspiration from a microwave, or the coffee pot inspired me today. I heard the beat from the coffee pot, and I said, hey, that's something I want to incorporate into my music.
Dude, you'd be surprised. But not all of them are good. I wrote a song called Ted once because I saw a picture of Ted Nugent on TV, and I went to another channel and I saw the Titanic movie was on. So I wrote a song, and it was, what would have happened if Ted Nugent was on the Titanic? The music was cool. The lyrics wasn't that great. There's some stinkers. I'm not gonna lie, I got some stinkers.
That's okay though, because you know that's what but you have them to remind yourself to laugh a little bit, right?
Yeah,
keep yourself humble. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
That's awesome. Ted joins the Titanic. We are gonna have to somewhere recorded is that, and we will have to go and try to find it in SoundCloud or some sort of hidden archive somewhere.
I think it is recorded, like a live version somewhere. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. It's just
we have to, and then we're gonna have to post it, because then watch it be like it hits famous. Yes, have you ever heard Ted Nugent was actually on the Titanic?
No,
he wrote a song about it. It has to be true.
Yeah, that song was
Young says, any upcoming projects coming?
Yes, actually, yeah, I got a couple cool things coming up. Pearl is going to start writing a new record pretty soon, which is great. And I wrote a record for this singer named Winter Ray. She was on The Voice.
Cool.
And she was also in a band called, what was it? Like Brides of Modern Destruction. It was like the rock version of In Vogue. It was all 4 tatted up, super hot, very talented women. Didn't happen, but anyway, so me and her wrote a record this year, and then I'm actually going to start writing with Chelsea Talmadge from Stranger Things.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, nice. She did one of my charity events that we do, and she sang Heartbreaker, and I'm like, you know what, you should do a record. I've been bothering her for like 3 years, so finally she wants to do a record. So doing that, and then I've been working with Adrian Young from No Doubt.
Oh,
He's
cool.
got a new production company. So me, him, and Todd Foreman from Sublime, we've been doing a lot of like different artists and stuff. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, that's really
And
cool.
then I'm gonna do my own record.
Yes. I want to hear more. I really loved what you did with these 2 songs. I was like, is that it? I have to go to.
Yeah, one of the
Are you on
more.
SoundCloud? Is there some more stuff that's just your personal stuff out there, like on SoundCloud or something?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you where you can find a whole bunch of stuff. Keep in mind, most of these tracks are for movie projects.
Okay.
So they have a lot of energy to them. So it's on Reverb Nation.
Oh, Reverb Nation. Okay, I know that one. Yep.
Yeah, there's I think there's like 13 or 14 just in your face rock songs.
I'm definitely gonna grab them as soon as this is over. I'm going on that.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! This is on the internet. Everybody's gonna find it now. Crack.
Reverb Nation. Check it out.
Damn it. Yes, we're gonna demand. I'm gonna be like, we're gonna have like a poll. Like, when's this new album gonna come out? You're gonna have to come back on just because the new album's gonna come out, and then we're just gonna be like, yeah, we told you. Like, this guy's really, really freaking talented. Not only is he playing with amazing folks, he is an amazing folk, and I can't wait to hear more. It's cool stuff. And so that being, we're at the hour. We are at the hour.
That's fast.
It is.
Right.
It always is. Especially with really great guests. I mean, sometimes we've been like, whoa.
Hour 20, hour 30. Like
I know. One time we were like, man, and we just still, especially with some of our favorite guests, we're like, we don't want to go, but we said that we would be done in an hour. But I will tell you this has been an amazing conversation that we've had. I enjoy talking food, but guitar, and then also some of the, just the people you've worked with and your music itself and where it's coming from. That's great discussion. And I totally appreciate the time. We totally appreciate the time.
No, thank you, man. Anytime, man. Actually, anytime you guys want to chop it up, because I got some stories for you guys.
I cannot wait to hear more. So we were going to have him and here comes Daniel again. We're going to hear more stories because we want to hear more. That's like that. You should write a book, because that's what I swear that stuff is the funnest stuff ever on when we chat about those things. Because those are the things that we're looking for, is those nuggets of fun.
Yeah.
This is what makes music fun. These background stories of crazy stuff. Drumming naked for $700
and paid off a ticket and got paid for the gig.
Yeah, so he got it all.
All right, yeah, dude. Anytime, man.
Well, Nicole. Yeah. Please keep us posted on your new album. As we always say, if you are part of the Tasty Licks family, we support you until the end of time. We will, we try to post as much new music as possible whenever we hear about it. So, we've had a lot of great guests, and we're always retweeting, reposting some of their stuff, whatever we can, just to help support, because that's what we do. You're part of the family now. So, and you definitely are good friends with the sis. So good friends with Nicole, and awesome. Yeah, totally love it. So, James, any last questions?
No, like he said, pretty much what he said. We appreciate your time, and we appreciate anybody's time that we get on the show. And it's definitely been, I'd say, an honor. Like, really, you work with a stack of great artists, and even hearing about it, and you talk about it just so like casual, and like we're just like. Starstruck, you know what I'm saying?
I think you just mentioned Sublime and Billy Cyrus and people. Yeah, I was just sitting drinking a beer with Billy Cyrus. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Mark Knopfler's guitar from Dire Straits.
Things are weird. Man. Things are weird.
Like,
I love it, man. We are definitely gonna have you on again, and let's go check out his music. Reverb Nation, everybody, not just the two that are on Spotify.
YouTube, Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation. This is where you can find more. And then and then pound on his Instagram until he makes that new album, because we want to hear more music other than just the stuff that's on Apple and Reverb Nation. So I can't wait to hear more. And we can't hear and who was the other musician that you said, what was her name? The one that you're working from that show, the voice.
Chelsea Talmadge.
Chelsea Talmadge. There we go. So let's go check her out as well. Her new, you gotta go with Stranger Things as well. There's a new album with this coming out soon. So, so many good projects, my friend. I cannot wait to hear more about them. So, and more stories. So we'll pick you up again. And James, what do you have to say, my friend?
Stay tasty. We'll see you next
week.
Stay tasty.
All right, man.
See you guys.
Later, guys.
See you next week.
See you.